On the next Uri Man podcast, you'll learn all about amenities, how they're designed, and the first ever heated lazy river, the hot tub lazy river, coming to Texas. Join us to learn about amenity design on the Uri Man podcast. Welcome to the Uri Man Show, Lacy Hamilton. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's exciting.
Yeah, so Lacy Hamilton, you are an incredible designer responsible for creating amenities. Can you tell us what generally are amenities?
So amenities have there's a broad range of what we do. Everything from streetscape design to parks and trails, entry monuments, and then, the more well-known these complex amenity centers that we're doing.
So basically, if somebody is building a new community and they want to have an attraction to get people to buy homes, to feel like there's something to do in the community, a playground or a splash pad, that kind of is all from your vision. It comes from you. You are the person who decides, hey, this is what people want to live nearby.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. You're vice president of KGA Deforest. That's a large-scale landscape architecture company, firm that you're responsible for designing these communities and amenities all over the country. Tell us what happens. Somebody buys a piece of land. There's no homes there. And your job is to come up with something flashy and interesting. What's that process like? How do you come up with a vision of what should be in the community to attract people to buy a home?
So there's a lot of things that go into it, really. First and foremost, it's a relationship that we have with the clients, with the developers or the builders, or in a lot of cases in the Houston area, it's the municipal utility districts. And so we work with them. We understand what they want to see. What's the theming going to be.
So the client has some role as a vision, says, hey, I want to have a playground. I want to have different things.
Yes, and a lot of it depends too on how the planning is set up. We work with the land planners up front very closely and see what types of open spaces they're going to provide for us, and then we look and see how we can develop those out. So if whether it's just one major amenity that we're going to be doing, what can we put in there that is what people want and what people need, depending on where they live.
Right.
Something in downtown Houston would be much different than somewhere out in Rosenberg or up in Humble.
Can you give me an example, like the differences? Like what would be the type of amenity that you would typically want to put in a master plan community in the suburbs versus something downtown?
So in the suburbs, a lot of it is you're really, disconnected from the city. So a lot of you want to create a community within your community.
Right.
And so
because you can't just get in the car, walk somewhere.
That's right.
You can't be somewhere soon, quickly.
That's right. So the idea is to provide a variety of activities and amenities that people want to go to, and that encourages them to be outside and to have fellowship with each other, with their fellow neighbors.
Such as, yeah.
So, a lot of what we do a lot of dog parks, and how can we make that fun and exciting?
Right.
Part of what I love to do is, I have a young family, so my view of an amenity is much different than someone who has older children or who's an empty nester. And so the goal for me is to create a multi-generational amenity that can attract and a variety of people and a variety of ranges, from the young to the young at heart.
Right.
And something that's accessible for all, that they want to go to.
Right, because there's lots of different types of buyers in a community, so you want to make sure that you're attracting, I guess, young families, single people, empty nesters, people who are older that maybe have no kids at the house. There's got to be something for everybody to do in the community.
Right, and that's in a safe place for them to go to.
Right.
Somewhere that they want to go, that they're willing to get out of the house, walk there, drive their golf cart there, and in a lot of cases with some of our recent communities, and to get out and experience that and keep them there. Do we want them to stay there at night? Do we want it to transition? What does the crowd look like as it goes? Where do we want the families to be? Where do they feel safe? And then how do they get to interact with other users that go to the site? So.
Right, and we've worked together in the past. And one of the things that I remember, I challenged you. We went to visit a bunch of different lazy rivers because we decided, hey, we're going to have a lazy river in one of our projects. And I said, can we make it a heated lazy river and call it the hot tub lazy river, and you thought I was insane, but we have one under construction.
Yes, we do.
Tell me a little about that project. How big is it? What's the scale? How big is the lazy river?
So that lazy river is over 700 lineal feet long.
Right? Wow.
And there's a,
Yeah.
it's really fun. There's a beach area to it that you have a beach walk-in to kind of give you the feel. We call it the South Beach. There's a lap pool there that you can go to. There's a family pool that's separate. There's a lot of areas that you can just interact around the lazy river there. That's an exciting one that's coming up. I'm really excited to see that. There's a
That's
giant.
here in Houston in Iowa Colony.
That's
at
in
Sierra
Iowa
Vista.
Colony, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
right.
yeah.
And so will that be, I believe, the first heated lazy river, at least in Texas, that we know of?
That I know of, yes.
Right.
Yes,
So you're going to be able to have a margarita in wintertime, sit in that lazy river and enjoy yourself, because the weather is great 7 or 8 months a year here, but
Yes.
a lot of times it's just too cold to consider being in a lazy river.
Yes, that's true. And a lot of times the pools all close down. And so a challenge too that, when we work with HOAs is how can we create these amenities to be accessed year round? And that was one of the ideas that came up, and I'm excited to see how it's going to turn
Well,
out.
you've actually made our dreams come true with this new amenity village. We're excited. There's going to be a new clubhouse that's going to be built there. And without your amenities, people don't feel like there's a fabric of a community. So you have a big role in making sure the families come together. They get to know each other in the clubhouse, hanging out at the lazy river, at this new beach entry. You can imagine the kids making sandcastles. So, and it's all due to your design. So, when you decided to study, you studied landscape architecture?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and I remember that you used to work for Disney. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
All right. So how did you, what in your childhood or what like during college made you think, hey, I really want to be involved in the design of communities? Yeah.
So when I first started, so I'm a big golfer. I golfed in high school, and being outside, I just love to be outside. And I said, who does golf courses?
Right.
And I said, landscape architects. Great, sign me up. Well, of course, I went to school there, and there's so much more to landscape architecture than golf course design. I did a horticulture internship at Disney, where I ultimately met my husband.
So your design work led to.
So my design work, led to Disney. So there I learned.
Or led to your spouse.
It did. Yes, it did.
Right.
What we call it at Disney, what I did was more of a backstage role. And it was really important because a lot of guests did not get to see the work that I did, but they did get to enjoy the experience of the work that I did. And so my job today is very much like that. And a lot of times, nobody really knows who comes up with these ideas.
Well, we have to make sure that at these events, when we open them, that we acknowledge all the great contributions that you've made. But so backstage basically means, hey, you were the person that made it happen, but you're not there handing out the golf clubs to play the game, basically.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Well, and I came, I'm from Longview, Texas, and there's no master plan communities there.
You're originally from Texas.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. Born and raised. And so when I moved to Houston, and this idea of these master plan communities was just a foreign concept to me. And so it was really fun to really get to know what that is. And really it's down to the basic, people want to be together. People want to enjoy the places that they're at where they live. They want to work and play and live in the same environment with people. And so the fact that I get to help design those spaces for people and those experiences is really fun. And I love that.
Well, I know that you were the designer of the first crystal lagoon in the United States to get approved for swimming. That's the Balmoral Lagoon. So you can see, there's thousands of people that are smiling and having a great time at the beach every year. In fact, every week sometimes we have thousands of people at that lagoon, and it's because of your design and all the things that you thought of. So how many projects have you designed today?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know if I could count it. Oh, I mean, hundreds.
Hundreds of projects.
I'd say hundreds, yeah.
Well, congratulations on all your success. Thank you for coming on the Uri Man Show today. It was a pleasure to have you. And if anybody wants to visit your website and learn more about KGA Deforest, what is the website?
KGADeforest.com.
KGADeforest.com.
Yes.
And also all of our listeners today, since we are sponsored by Lagoon Fest Texas, if you put your name in the comments, you get the chance to win 4 free tickets to Lagoon Fest Texas. So Lacy, thank you for being here on the show today.
Thank you for having me, Uri.
Big news! Lagoon Fest Texas is coming to Houston again this summer. Lagoon Fest Texas is the largest summer beach event in the Houston area and will bring hundreds of thousands of happy families to Lago Mar. Experience the white sand beaches and crystal clear water that surround the 12-acre Crystal Lagoon. Last year's Lagoon Fest Texas was a huge success that drew over 150,000 visitors from all over the U.S. And this year's summer event will be even bigger and better with bigger beaches, more bars, more concerts, and more fun. All eyes will be on Lagoon Fest Texas this summer, and sponsorships are available now. You have a special opportunity to put your company's name and logo in front of hundreds of thousands of happy beachgoers. Naming rights, strategic logo placement in and around the venue, along with exclusive marketing access to a captive audience, will be included in your sponsorship. This is a great opportunity to be a part of Houston's largest summer event. Please visit lagoonfesttexas.com to learn more about this incredible event.